Welcome to the channel, everybody. Level M Diecast, bringing you proper, authentic Majorette action today. We are starting all the stuff I got from my recent haul. We're going to take a look at all these premium models. Pretty much everything should have a moving feature of some sort. We're going to go ahead and start with the Renault Alpine A110 in orange. This does come with the 3-spoke wheels on there. Looks pretty good. That is Australian dollars, so it's roughly around $4.50 or so US. So definitely more expensive than most diecasts here in the US, but certainly not more expensive than premiums. So we'll get this out of here. These I don't collect them, but they do come with these cards in them. They give you a little bit of information about the actual car itself, which is kind of cool if you want to keep the cards, but we don't really keep the cards here. There is our Renault Alpine 110 in orange. Looks fantastic. I love the 3 spokes. Looks pretty good. Details look pretty good on this one. Does have suspension, which is pretty nice. Details in the back, pretty straightforward. Just some taillight prints. Does say Alpine. Renault. Sorry about that. There we go. And then I think there's some prints on the hood there. Does say Alpine, which looks pretty good. Lens headlights as usual, which is pretty straightforward. Does have opening doors, which looks pretty good. A little bit of detail on the inside of the door panels, not a whole lot, just a little bit. Not a fancy amount. There is your base deets. This is 1/53rd scale, so this model is actually relatively small. Or the real car is small in real life, so you'd expect that to be a little bit of a bigger sized scale. All right, I have been waiting to get my hands on one of these for a while. This is the Mark I Volkswagen Golf. The casting is only a year or two old, but have not been able to get my hands on one yet. But I do have one now. Probably one of the best versions ever, just in blue with some black lace wheels. So I'll get this guy popped out of there. Get those beats. There is your Mark I Golf. I think the wheels look absolutely fantastic. Very, very good details. Very, very nice details. The print for the fuel filler cap looks good as well. Left-hand drive does have side mirrors on it. Both sides looks pretty good. Details on the back look fantastic. It says Volkswagen Golf GTI. Looks very, very good. Hook assembly model on this one, so no rear rivets. There's the deets from the other side. Looks fantastic. Lensed headlights still, even though it's got those circle headlights. They are lensed and looks fantastic. Some black print in there for the grille. And then does have an opening hood. There is your details underneath the hood. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get some light in there. It's pretty flat. It's pretty flat. It's not terribly flat, but it's pretty flat details. Looks pretty good. The hood closes pretty good. Of course, it still has suspension, as you'd expect. There is the base deets. This one is 1/52nd scale, so it's close. Very interesting that they mold in the Volkswagen logo for the bottom to, say it's a licensed product. All right, next one up. This one also from the vintage range. This is the Ford Mustang, the Mord Fustang. We got this model in the US as a premium, had different wheels on it, showed that in my haul. So, but this one looks pretty good. I think this one looks better with this plastic wheel on it versus the premium wheel that we got. But the casting itself and the details were very, very good. This one looks fantastic in blue. I really like these wheels a lot. I think those wheels look very, very good. Very good details on there. Prints look good. This guy does have dual white stripes on there. Looks very, very good. Like those details on there. Same on this side. Still has those lensed headlights. Grille looks fantastic. Got your Mustang logo right in there. Prints are super crisp. Very, very, very nice prints on this one. And then there is your deets in the back. Does say Mustang in there. Very, very small, but it does say Mustang. Looks pretty good. This guy has opening doors. Much, much more detail on the inside of the door panels on this one, as you can see. Looks pretty good. Even some contour there based on the paneling on the inside. Looks pretty good. So these doors are a little, there we go, a little stiff to close. Get that guy flipped around. 1/62nd scale, so almost 1/64 scale. Very, very close. But of course, this guy still has suspension as well, just not a whole lot of wheel travel. It's a pretty common issue with Majorette. They just don't have the wheel travel in their models. All right, Volkswagen T3 van. This one is also a relatively new casting as well. We actually did get one version of this in the U.S. under Punch Buggies, but that mix is basically MIA. I've never seen that mix on the shelf, although I do know people that have picked it up. Unfortunately, I never got it, but that was in orange. This one is in dark red. So this one looks pretty good. Been pretty excited to get one of these. I'm really, really happy that I got one. Jackson seems to follow either my channel or maybe my Instagram. Who knows? But he definitely knows which ones I've been looking for. So this does have a sliding door. Get that closed in there. First time it's being closed. It's a little stiff. Details look good. I do like the wheels on this one. They use that wheel for Porsches too. Suspension, of course. You can see it right through there. It's just part of the assembly. That's just the way it is. The top section here is plastic. So I don't think there's a problem with that being plastic. It's all right. There is the detail on the back. Says Volkswagen Camper. No print on the taillights. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Does come with a tow hitch though, which is pretty nice. Some camper hookups right there. Looks pretty good. So this one's pretty nice actually. Still has lensed headlights, which looks good. Volkswagen symbol on there looks good. A little bit of print for the turn signals, but that's it. The top does not come off, so it's not designed to come off or anything like that. Been a little bit since I've gotten a Majorette with a sliding door on there. But the door slides open. It is relatively open in there. So not a whole lot of light getting in there, but it's pretty much all open. A little bit of detail for the camper side of things, but that one looks really, really good. Of course, the door will get looser and looser the more you open and close it, for sure. Get around here. They do mark this one with the Volkswagen logo as well. This one is 1/62nd scale as well, so this one actually matches perfectly with your Golf. I think that one was, maybe no, that was the Mustang. So figures that guy doesn't fit. You fit on the screen? We'll put him on the bottom. All right, next one up, Toyota Celica GT Coupe. There have been several colors of the Celica thus far. There was even a Celica series, which had like 3 cars in it, I think. I only have 2. We did get this casting here in the U.S., though. We got the Zamic version with the double die-cast, the metal base, and the little metal tin that it came with, which was kind of cool. But could never complete that series because we didn't get any more from it, unfortunately. So we'll get this guy popped out of there. A little stiff in the blister. There is your Celica. Looks good. This casting is very big. It's very, very, very big. Again, you know, Majorette's scales are all over the place. They really are. They don't really have a whole lot of consistency in their scaling, unfortunately. But the models all individually look fantastic. They just don't really all go together that well. Taillight prints on the back does say GT on there as well. Some more deets on the side. Looks pretty good. Still has the lensed headlights. And it says GT in there. Looks fantastic. That gray bumper is part of the interior. Same with the one in the back. So those are several pieces. These models are not made with your standard, 4 or 5 pieces like Hot Wheels and Matchbox are. These are made with multi-piece. That looks good. Details on the inside look good. Details, all that kind of good stuff. Actually looks like a steering wheel, which is something we don't typically get from Hot Wheels or Matchbox. Very good details inside the door panels. Majorette's always done a really, really good job of that stuff. Looks good. A little bit of orange peel, on the paint, but that's okay. Moving on to the base deets. There you go. 1/56 scale is this particular one. Of course, it still has suspension. It's very rare to come across one that does not have suspension. They pretty much all have suspension. All right, this one was not part of my haul. I actually picked this one up locally, just randomly, just a one-off single random car, just by itself. There is the deets on the back. It does not have any Jada stickers or anything, so this was originally sold outside the U.S. This was not sold here, so not exactly sure where this one came from, but it doesn't matter. I did not have this Golf. This, what is this, a Mark 7? Thought it might be Mark 6. This is the Mark 7 Golf. They've done a bazillion versions of this Golf as well. Fantastic though, really good details on it. Lensed headlights, got your red stripe in the grille because it's a GTI. Volkswagen symbol in the front looks good as well. I love these wheels. Those spiral 5 spokes look very, very good. There is the deets on the back. Hook assembly on this one as well. This one has a black painted roof. That one looks pretty good. And again, it does have opening features. So there is your opening hatch in the back, which looks fantastic. Majorette has done a lot of opening hatches. They are probably the kings at opening hatches. Eventually, I'll get one of these models the direct way. 1/64 scale. So this one is actually considered to be exactly 1/64 scale. If that's true 1/64 scale, who knows? But they do claim it to be 1/64 scale, so we'll roll with that. All right, moving on to the couple of Alfa Romeo series models that we have. This is the Tonale. This is a new casting from Majorette. Debuted in, I believe, 2023. It's been a couple of versions. It's not just the Alfa Romeo version, but or Alfa Romeo, but they're all the same. So there is the deets. This looks pretty good. First time seeing this casting. First time having this casting. Of course, we are getting the Dodge Hornet, which is a version of this SUV here in the U.S., but we also have the Tonale here in the U.S. as well. A little bit more upmarket probably than in its home market of Italy, probably. But this one looks pretty good. I like the wheels. The wheels are fantastic. I think it fits the model exquisitely, if you want to get all fancy. There is the deets on the back, says Tonale. There is the lights and stuff like that. Looks pretty good. Prints look good. A little bit of the reflectors on the base part. Again, another hook assembly. Majorette is a big proponent of hook assemblies, which maybe is part of the reason why we don't see a whole lot of Majorette in the U.S. This guy does have opening doors. So opening doors are pretty common too. Very little detail on the inside of the door panels. I mean, very little detail. But inside the model looks absolutely fantastic. Nice, good interior. You can even see all the details on the seat, which is a very nice touch. So we will kind of squeeze him in there. The other one from the Alfa Romeo series, this is the Quadrifoglio, the Giulia Quadrifoglio. This is a different version than what we've seen in single packs. So I was going to pull out one of the red ones I have to compare, but for one, it's not even the same wheel, and two, it's not even the same red, and three, it's not even in the same series. So this one has a tinted window, pretty dark tinted window as well. The red one in the premium car series had a much lighter tinted window, but it looks fantastic because then it gives like that look of like a black headlight cover. I think that looks fantastic. Those are lensed. There is a print inside the grille for the Alfa Romeo, kind of design language they have there. I think looks pretty good. I really do like this car a lot. I think this car is fantastic. Those are plastic wheels, but full suspension. The suspension travel on this particular one is perfect. This casting is absolutely flawless. There is your taillight prints and stuff like that. Those are printed up. So kind of interesting that the Volkswagen van didn't have them printed up, but this guy does. And then just has opening doors. Again, pretty common with the opening doors. There is a pretty good amount of detail on the inside of the panels. A lot of three-dimensional details and stuff like that too. So the candy red color kind of soaks up the depth of those, but that looks fantastic. Really good details. And then there is your base deets. This one is 1/60th scale. But this is one of the best Majorette castings they've done in a really long time. They absolutely hit it out of the park with that particular casting, at least in my opinion. So throw these over there. All right, last one we have is this guy. This is the Tonale Customs Volvo V90. This one does have opening doors, so even though it doesn't have the premium packaging, it's still premium. This one was $8.99, so a little bit more expensive. This one's about $5.50 or so, $5.25 roughly, translated to US dollars. So obviously for a special edition or something like that, it'd be a little bit more expensive, extra $1 basically. So I don't think $4 is unreasonable for Majorette. I think they could sell here in the US if we would just get all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, that's never going to happen. So I will continue to trade to get my hands on the Majorette because I absolutely love this brand. There is the details on the side, 471-6439, probably a phone number. I like it with the 5 spokes, looks good. Lensed headlights, grille print looks fantastic. Good old Volvo on there. And then Toll Customs kind of backwards. This is left-hand drive, which is interesting. Thought this would be right-hand drive. Does have an added light bar on the top. So Majorette does not integrate those things hardly ever because they do release these castings as both street and police versions, and they don't want to be tied down to one or the other. Prints on the back look fantastic. Again, hook assembly model. Got your V90 on the back. I love the hook assembly models. They just look so much cleaner, in my opinion. I just wish that the U.S. would do that a little bit more. There is your opening doors. Details on the inside look pretty good as well. This does have some detail on the inside of the door panels. Again, not a whole lot. But it does have an armrest and stuff on there, which is pretty nice. These doors open enormously wide. Looks good. And of course, suspension as always. So cool. You know, all cars used to have stuff like that back in the day, but nowadays it's just way too expensive. Supposedly it's just way too expensive. I would rather them increase, like, at least Hot Wheels and Matchbox to at least $2 a car so that you could at least have suspension, which would be pretty nice. But they're just too cheap. Mattel's too cheap. But anyways, there you go. That is the first round of Majorette. We have this broken up into a couple of segments. So this is the premium stuff. Let me know if you guys have, favorite there. Let me know what your guys' thoughts of Majorette. And, coming to the U.S., would you pay $4 a car if these were sold in the U.S.? Would you be willing to spend the $4 a car versus your $1.18 for a Hot Wheels and Matchbox to get all these premium features, all this good detail, all that good stuff like that? Would you pay $4? Let me know. Drop a comment. We're going to roll out. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. As always, Level M Dotcast saying, peace.